Okay, so we started with our arrival activity, which was our spider web tig. Okay, I need 2 Spider-Men or Spider-Women. Which Spider-Man or Spider-Woman can get the most points by tigging you with the bib? So if I go to throw this your way, you're going to get out of the way really quickly or else I win a point. Good, okay. Tig, we chose for this age group to put 2 spiderweb players into the game from the start. So because they're a little bit older, we wanted a little bit more challenge than just the individual spiderweb tigger, and used a fairly large space so that they still had a little bit more time to get away from the player, but still have that change of direction that was going to tee us up for the entire session. Our second game, twist and turn, we split the players into 2 groups, had a team around the outside of the space and a team in the middle of the space. Those players in the middle don't have a ball. So the players around the outside need to play into the players without a ball so that they can start to twist and turn to find the space through the traffic of the other players. So there's a little bit of unopposed interference so that they're having to make decisions without the pressure on them. So the progression for our twist and turn activity was to add gates into the game. You'll have seen that I did this while the practice was ongoing, which means that there's still ball rolling time for the players to maintain their engagement. The gates are of different sizes, so the challenge for players was to go into the game assessing the different size of the gates to try and understand what that would mean for their turning. So without giving them the answers, they're exploring what parts of the space are too small for less touches and which parts of the space are big enough for less touches. So it adds that element of challenge without prescribing it to individual players. Good. Lexi, come back for me. Because I've seen some outstanding footwork from you. You've done very well with different types of turns. I always want you to make sure with the gates, we're starting in front so that I can see you turn to get through it. Imagine this is the player, okay? So when you receive, we're going to turn past the player. I don't want us to be behind them just yet. That's going to happen in our next challenge. All right, let's go. When I want to receive the ball from Sienna, because we know I want to go and turn past this gate or through this gate, and we're pretending that's a player, we have to make sure our position sets us up before Sienna passes it so that I can get through it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm always looking when I can see that Sienna's free. I don't want her to go yet. I want to get set, set, set. Yes, Sienna! And then I can turn through. Okay? So before you even get the ball, we've got some work to do to try and find a good place to be so that we can turn. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, so keep looking for them best places. Okay. Ready? Off you go. Nice, Neveh, can we turn through? Lovely! The next activity was Endzone. Endzone is set up with 2 end zones at either edge of the pitch. There will be no goals used in our Endzone game. Instead, there is a target player for each team that they are trying to play into. This game means that the players are now challenged to use those change of direction skills to lose their marker to be able to receive. By doing that, they can then practice the turning and moving with a ball skills that they practiced in their twist and turn practice previously. In this practice, we added some progressions. We added a magic man to the game, or a magic woman at times, so that this player could play for either team to give an overload advantage for the team that's in possession. This was to allow for a little bit more success for the players, but also so that they still had the challenge of trying to lose markers. The next progression for this activity would be to give one team a complete overload. But in doing this at the same time, I'd added a multi-directional practice. This made it a little bit more exciting for players because they could go both ways, and gave them more opportunities to dribble with the ball because more spaces start to occur naturally when the opposition are chasing 2 directions. So now they can start exploring the new spaces that are there with their own movement with the ball. The added challenge of having a bigger overload for the players was for those players on the yellow team that needed specific challenge. There were players that were finding space a little bit easier than others from the opposition, so the extra challenge was added to those to make it a little bit harder. For our final practice, we went into a game situation and it was all about learning through the game. In this situation, we set the challenges at the start of the practice so that players knew what they were trying to get from the game. Give me a couple of things that we've taken away that we're going to want to take into the match now that we're going to go full pitch.
Scanning before we receive the ball.
Okay, scanning before we receive the ball. But what do we mean by scanning? What things might we be looking for when we say scan?
Watching the other player.
Good, so seeing where the opponents are. What other kind of players might we be looking for? Not just opponents, teammates. What else about turning?
Depending on the space, that means how close you need to keep the ball to yourself.
Good boy, I love that. Remind me your name.
Jane.
Jayan, fantastic. These were a common theme from all of the other practices that we'd done throughout this session, so that their focus remained on those throughout the game. Yellows, this is our perfect opportunity to find the best moment to receive from Elsie. Okay? Okay. Yellows, we're just going to freeze it there. Tell me what we saw happen right there, Yellows. Okay, give it back to Elsie for me. I thought Elsie saw that Lola did have a bit of space, didn't you? Yeah? And did that look like the best space for you, Elsie, out of all the ones you saw? You can be honest, yeah? That's why Elsie made that decision. And I think she's right. I think that was the best space between a player and another player. But it didn't quite work for us because they were still close enough. So what do you think we can do as a team to make sure we have more space so that Elsie can time it and play it to us? Okay, definitely communicate a little bit, but not too much that the opponents know what we're doing. Okay, but what we might need to do, Elsie, if you get the ball, I might come towards one of the opponents first and start so that I have no space. Look, Eden's thinking about me now, aren't you, Eden? He's thinking about me. And then I might get away and time it with Elsie. Okay? So remember, we've worked lots today on how fast we can change direction to go and get the ball. So then we've got the space to be able to start turning and moving with it, okay? But it starts with us creating the space, Jayon, yeah? Got to create the space first. Right, let's show me that this time then, Yellows. We might have to go all the way out to then come back in. Here we go. Timing, timing. Don't worry, Elsie, if it's not there, they're going to have to work a little harder to show you. Carry on.